Imagine spending hours, days, or even weeks piecing together the perfect quilt block only for one choice to undo all your hard work. Today I'm diving into the June Taylor Sash and Dash Quilt As You Go method. The Sash and Dash Quilt As You Go method promises convenience, but at what cost? Stay tuned as I unravel the truth behind this method of quilt as you go. Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm a human being. Now let's get into it. Quilting is more than just a hobby. It's an art form that combines patience, precision, and passion. I started my quilting journey because I wanted to create beautiful projects and I wanted a way to express my creative side. We all know the joy of selecting the perfect fabrics, the perfect pattern, and the satisfaction of completing each quilt block, right? But we also know the frustration of either finishing our quilts on our domestic machines or even paying a small fortune to send it off to the long armor. My struggle has been finishing my projects on my domestic machines. Or I just don't finish them at all and I add them to my growing stack of WIPs, work in progresses. But then I discovered Sash and a Dash by June Taylor. It's a product that promised to be a game changer, a way to join quilt blocks easily and quickly. I was excited by the promise, so I decided to give it a try. However, the reality was far from what was promised on the packaging. The quilt blocks that I painstakingly pieced together ended up being a hot mess because this method cut off my points. It robbed my points of their beauty and erasing all the hard work I put into those blocks. This was the moment that I realized that in quilting, all shortcuts might not lead to the destination that you desire. Thank goodness I decided to try out this method on a sample project before I wasted my time and fabric on the project that I really wanted to make. Here is the packaging label for the June Taylor Sash and a Dash product. I purchased white. It comes in several other colors, and as you see here, the promise is that you're able to connect or join your quilt blocks together with this sashing product. And it very clearly here says, easy way to join pieced quilt blocks and t-shirt quilt blocks. The reason why I point that out is because when I saw this product advertised, the person or the company that was showing it, they were using it on a t-shirt quilt. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to use that because I'm not making a t-shirt quilt. But then when I saw this on the labeling, I thought, let me give it a go. Let me show you what happened when I used this product. This is a 9-inch finish quilt block, and I used the pattern Whirl, W-H-I-R-L. It's a pattern that's included in the 72 patterns that come with the AccuQuilt Go Cube system. What I did was I made the block and pieced together the block. I have just your typical cotton batting, and on the back side for my backing, I just cut up a bed sheet or a bed linen that I had that I wanted to upcycle. So I used that. And this is, by the way, a test project. And thank goodness I tested this out before I completed my real project, because you'll see why in just a second. So what I did was I took all 3 layers. I used my embroidery machine to quilt together this block. And this design is from Designs by Juju. And it's a 9-inch whirl. And I just used my embroidery machine to create that. And I squared it all up to make it nice and pretty. Here is the outcome. So I'm going to show you 3 different blocks that I completed, and I'll tell you why as I go through them. So this is that first block, the whirl. And as you can see here, look at these points. These points have a 1/4-inch seam allowance because traditionally you piece your blocks together with the 1/4-inch seam. So using that 1/4-inch seam, I would have maintained my point in all spaces, here and here. And as you can see, beautiful points there.
But when you use the June Taylor Sash and a Dash, look what happens, y'all. You completely lose your points. I mean, they're just gone. And let me show you why. So out of the packaging, it looks like this. And as it says, it is a tuck and sew sashing method. So what I did was I just cut strips that were about a half an inch on either side longer than my quilt block. So it looks like this. Maybe it's about a quarter of an inch on either side. I cut those strips in and I pieced them together. So here is what the Sash and a Dash looks like. It's a double fold. It's not on the bias. Well, yes, it is on the bias, actually, I think. I'm not sure if it's on the bias, but it's a double fold on both sides. So here and here, and then there and there, double-sided. And so this measures, so this is the center seam allowance, and it measures just shy of an inch wide. So that's just shy of an inch wide on both sides. So what happens is when you take this Sash and a Dash, you open it up like such, and then you tuck your block inside like that. So this is what it looks like. Again, here are my points, and then you tuck it inside, you fold it over, and what I did was I just sewed an 1/8 of an inch line down the center or down the sashing here. So as you can see, what happens is this right here is a quarter of an inch. And when you flip this over, this is almost a complete inch. So that's how you lose all of your points. So this is that test block encased in the sashing. So I lost my point there. This one right here isn't so dramatic, but this is clearly a dramatic loss of my point. So then I said to myself, well, let me try doing a different type of block that doesn't have drastic points, and let me see what that looks like. This block is called the Hourglass #1 quilt block. And again, this is another pattern that's included in the AccuQuilt Go Cube 72-inch pattern mix and match box set. And so my thesis was, okay, well, if the Sash and a Dash cuts off the points on the Whirl block, let me try something that's not as pointy. And as you can see here, a little better on the Flying Geese here, still maintains some points. So this actually is a better choice of a block to use if you're going to use the Sash and a Dash. Then I said to myself, let me test a t-shirt block, because that was how it was demonstrated when I saw it online. I don't really have t-shirts that have logos, so I kind of dug this one up from somewhere in my closet. And what I learned by doing this is a couple of things. You can see here that this is like, remember, this is a little bit under an inch. And then this is probably, I don't know, maybe, let's measure. This is half an inch. So if you were to use this product and you were making a t-shirt quilt, as long as your logo remained within the borders of this Sash and a Dash, it would be perfect. It would be beautiful. According to this t-shirt, that's not the case. The logo, this was a large t-shirt, and this says Forerunner, and the other side of this t-shirt is the remainder of this design. And so it was a center chest design, and again, got cut off. Now, I guess if I were using like a 10 or a 12-inch block, it would have maintained it, but I'm working with a 9-inch block. So then I decided, okay, let's see, what are my options here? This one looks okay. It's not so bad. Yes, the points are cut off from my Flying Geese block, but okay. But I don't really like this block. It's okay. It wasn't my first choice. My first choice was this one. This is the one that I wanted to make my project out of, and I am completely disappointed in this product because it cuts off my points. If you are making a Quilt As You Go project and you're considering using the June Taylor Sash and a Dash Buyer beware. Just be aware that when you select your quilt block, you want to stay away from blocks that don't have sharp points because they will absolutely get cut off. I tried to come up with several hacks that I will not bore you with, but it took too much time and it just wasn't worth it. The June Taylor Sash and a Dash product is good for t-shirt quilts, particularly if your logo will fit inside the square size that you are using for your project. And depending on your style and taste, this could be used for a piece block, but just beware of your points being cut off. And this one doesn't look as drastic because the flying geese points are still there.
After grappling with this disappointment, I went back to the drawing board. I realized that true artistry in quilting comes from respecting the process and embracing the time it takes to create something truly beautiful. In the future, I will search for another quilt as you go method because this one just ain't it. Quilting is a journey, one that should not be rushed. The Sash and Dash might promise speed, but at what cost? As we've seen, it can compromise the very essence of our quilts, our points. If you found value in our journey today, please subscribe and join me for more videos like this. Until next time, keep making quilting magic and create something uniquely yours, stitch by stitch.